lacrosse being a non-revenue generating sport, we're definitely not like on the public display as much. We're not on ESPN as much as football and basketball would be. So that not having as much public attention, we're obviously not going to be noticed as many brands or people that are willing to do partnerships with lacrosse athletes. So I think the content that I started posting, like the reels and stuff, was a way to get myself out to the public.
What kind of was working for you? Was it the behind the scenes? Did you start posting other content outside of that, or just the day in my lives were really working? What's up, guys? Welcome back to A2 on Champ Media. Now, today we're joined by an athlete we haven't had on my show before. We have a lacrosse player, a freshman, and his name is Tay. Tay, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So Tay also does a lot of content creation. I actually came across him on social media on one of his reels. You do so many cool day in my lives. How did that kind of get started?
So like going into college and everything, I knew NIL was growing and that was a huge thing. So I was like, the first couple months, I didn't really think much of it. But then I started seeing stuff on my Instagram Reels page, my Instagram in general. And I was like, all right, like these guys are blowing up. They got to be making money through like paid partnerships and stuff, which I would see that on their pages. And I was like, I'm going to be here for 4 years. This is something like I can take advantage of, make money off of. Also just like make a brand for myself, like even outside of college. So I was like, I got to take advantage of this. I'm never going to have this again in my life.
Yeah. And that's so interesting what you said too, because with how NIL is blowing up and you're playing lacrosse, do you feel like there's definitely a price and number difference from other collegiate sports versus lacrosse? So you're making your name more of the image as opposed to like your sport?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, lacrosse being a non-revenue generating sport, we're definitely not like on the public display as much. We're not on ESPN as much as football and basketball would be. So that not having as much public attention, we're obviously not going to be noticed as many brands or people that are willing to do partnerships with lacrosse athletes. So I think the content that I started posting, like the reels and stuff, was a way to get myself out to the public.
Absolutely. And then were you kind of already posting before you came to college, or was this something that, like you said, you saw and you just went full force into? Because you post the day in my lives. Was it like the content switched to day in my lives once you got here, or did you just completely start fresh, like start once you got here?
I completely started a new account beginning of October. Straight from scratch, started with 0 followers. I've built quite a bit of a following. I think I've up to 11,000 followers in roughly 3 months, and I'm still growing pretty quick. So everything was brand new. I posted on social media, but it was like a personal account. So it wasn't like anything crazy. And then, starting in October, I made this account and started posting day in my lives, which was my first video, and it blew up. And that's I realized that that's kind of what's going on Instagram and TikTok. That's what's blowing up a lot. So content around that was what I was going for.
Yeah, I mean, like, just like the behind the scenes of it, people eat up. And you were talking about your first one blowing up, so I want to talk a little bit more about the day in my lives. Also, congratulations, like 3 months and 11K. Like
Thank you.
That is a very quick growth, and that's really, really awesome. So what kind of was working for you? Was it the behind the scenes? Did you start posting other content outside of that, or just the day in my lives were really working?
A lot of it was like, a lot of my stuff is like day in the life and behind the scenes, because that's what people want to see.
Absolutely.
Is like what it's like for like a D1 athlete. Like what is their day to day like? Because no one sees that except for us. And I feel like that's a lot of people do want to see that. So most of my content is that. I've been trying to get into different stuff, but most of my content is the day in the life.
I love that. And then what's your favorite day in my life that you've made so far?
My favorite one? Honestly, probably my first one. I mean, my first video blew up. I think I have like 1.5 plus million views on that one.
1.6, I think I saw.
Yeah. And like, I mean, the editing wasn't great on that one. I just kind of went on a fling and it worked.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it my favorite, is because was low effort.
Yeah.
And it worked. So.
What were the comments? Like, were people like, we love this, we want to see more? Was there a lot of like Ohio State people and they were like, go Red? You know, because I feel like every time you post your school, it just like, it welcomes in all the people who are on the other side and, you know, kind of want to start a little something.
I definitely got a couple OHs in my comment section as well as like the Bruce the Buckeye kind of dancing gif. But a lot of it was like supporting and like a couple jokes thrown in there. Probably can't speak of them. But
Fair enough.
I mean, when I posted that, I had a ton of my teammates and like a ton of other people like that live near me in my dorm saying like their parents are seeing this and they're like sending it to them being like, do you know this kid and stuff like that. So I thought that was awesome. I was like, I'm getting noticed pretty quickly. I was like, okay.
I love that. Okay, so switching over a little bit, you talked about the dorms. You are a freshman living in the dorms. And in your content, I see a lot of foodie stuff, a lot of healthy foodie stuff as well. What is your favorite thing that you've discovered here in Ann Arbor? Like, we're on A2. We got to know what's some good places to go eat. If it's the dorms, who has the best food in the dorms?
Yeah. Dorm wise, I live in South Quad.
Love.
So any South Quads, South Quad dining hall is a solid dining hall. I haven't really been to any other dining halls just because that one's at the bottom of my dorm. So why would I need to go to any other one?
Okay.
Nutrition is something I really focus on. As an athlete, it's very important, obviously. And I've always kind of had a keen interest into it. Restaurants around here that I love, like if you're talking breakfast, Strahan.
Okay, fair.
That's probably a top for me. Or Jagged, that's right down the road.
Love
that's
Jagged.
A great one. Yeah, those two are great. Also pretty healthy spots. Dinner spots. There's a lot. Like Ann Arbor,
top 3.
There's like food everywhere. It's really hard to choose.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, there really is. I saw maybe sushi. Are you a sushi guy?
I am a sushi guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Asian food. I love Asian food. So, Slurping Turtle is a great one. I love Slurping Turtle.
I love
the ramen there.
turtle.
I've never had ramen until I came here. So once I had that, it was amazing. So I've had it a few times.
Okay.
Sava's is a really good one that I love.
Like that one.
And then also Big Alora.
Okay, I've never been there.
Really? Yeah, that's a little. I guess not like in downtown Ann Arbor, a little outside.
Yeah, it's on the little bit of the outside. But a lot of people. Your freshman year, obviously it's harder because you're living in the dorms, but once you start getting older and people bring their cars or get their cars, like you start moving around a lot more. So those are great places.
Yeah, I just got my car, so I've
been
exploring, exploring some of the restaurants around here.
It definitely makes life completely different having a car here.
A lot different.
So living in the dorms, you've created, I assume, a lot of friends. Being in the athlete world, it's very easy to fall into being friends with mainly athletes. Do you feel like that's kind of the same thing with living in the dorms, or have you found friends outside of what you're doing a little bit more?
I've met people outside of like just normal students here. But like I think for me, a lot of my friends are athletes just because we relate more. We kind of go through the same thing. Yeah. My hallway, I would say, is like the athlete hallway. Like everyone in my hallway is like an athlete. So we'll like talk to each other. So most of my friends like that I've made through the dorms are other athletes as well. Yeah.
Are they also on your team, or is it kind of a mix in South Quad?
A mix. Some are on my team. I mean, my teammates were scattered all around South Quad, but my hallway, it's some like field hockey girls lacrosse, softball and stuff like that.
That's such a fun mix. Okay. So with friends and going back a little bit more into social media, collabing, you've done collabs with other popular athletes here, Frederick Flips, I saw. Can you talk to me a little bit more about the collaboration aspect to being at Michigan? You have other athletes doing social media, which I don't know if maybe you had that more in high school too, because social media has changed so much, but coming here and seeing other people doing what you're doing, and like you said, you've been influenced by other people. What do you feel like the benefits have been to collaborating with other athletes here?
Shout out to Frederick Flips. He was actually one of my first posts. He reached out to me. He saw my first video blew up, and he saw me, and he was DM me and was like, "Let's collab." I'm like,
"No way!"
You got like 800,000 followers. Hell yeah, I'm collabing with you. So I instantly jumped on that, and he kind of like he gave me a ton of advice, like how he got into it and what he's done to grow big. And he is a great guy, and I loved working with him. So I realized he said collabing is like a huge thing. Like
Yeah.
if you look through his page, he's collabing all the time.
I've done a collaboration
Yeah.
with him. He taught me how to do a backflip. No, it was a front flip. So shout out Frederick Flips for that as well.
I did a backflip video with him as well.
You did the backflip. Okay, I did the front flip.
And then he taught me a front flip that same day. So I used to be a flip kid back in the day. So I've always loved doing flips. But yeah, he taught me how to do a front flip. Really rusty. But yeah, after that, I collabed with a girls lacrosse player, just kind of like sharing the difference between girls and men's lacrosse, what their days look like. Yeah. I haven't done many collabs since then, but like collaborating nowadays in social media is a huge thing.
Yeah, I love it so much. And can you give us a little bit of some undercover advice that Frederick gave you when he started posting what was working for him?
So he was telling me that like you just got to invest in yourself, basically. I remember him saying that word for word, and I kind of started doing that. Like put the money that I've made, I've kind of put back into it. Yeah. And to make my content better and grow bigger.
So true.
So I've done that a little bit as well. And he said just make videos consistently and do what you want. Don't do like what you think you have to do.
That's so true. I love that so much. Once again, shout out Frederick Flips. Yep. I have seen your TikTok content as well. The Instagram's growing a little bit faster. So what are the differences between your IG posts and your TikTok posts? Do you kind of have to change up what you're posting a little bit, or is it kind of just like a copy and paste situation?
I'd say it's more copy and paste. I started on Instagram just because I've always used Instagram more. I think Instagram's more friendly towards athletes.
Fair.
So I focus more on Instagram. When it comes to TikTok, I post mostly the same stuff. I made a couple separate posts on TikTok just because different stuff is trending on TikTok. Overall, the content isn't too different. I just find more success on Instagram.
Yeah, that's so interesting, like the differences for each person. I grew up doing Instagram first, and I grew very quickly on there. But then, I think I grew more important people as a following on Instagram, like more of a business style, and then Musically switched over to TikTok.
Yeah.
And I was just making silly videos, dancing videos, because I dance. And I've now grown to 600,000 plus, which is so interesting because I feel like the Instagram is so much harder to grow now because maybe it's just for me, but like I feel like it's more photo love unless you completely dip into the reels. But it's hard to like try and not find a copy and paste. But if you say what's working, I might try to steal from him.
Yeah, I've been completely focusing on the reels, and I've heard from a lot, like, I'll see like content like here and there, and they're like, if you want to blow up, Instagram Reels is the way to go on Instagram. So I've kind of fully gone. I don't even think I've made a normal like photo post yet.
No
it's
pictures,
all been Reels.
No pictures.
So, if you want to see pictures, it's more my personal account. So.
Love that. Okay, well, follow both.
Yeah.
Okay, so being a D1 athlete is a big part of your personality, but it's not all of what you are. So I kind of want to dip away from that social media aspect for a little bit and learn a little bit more about you. So you're a freshman here at Michigan, and aside from playing a D1 collegiate sport here, what's your major?
So right now I am focusing in economics.
Big econ major. We run from those men here. No, I'm kidding.
all right. I'm trying to get into the business school. I did not directly admit out of high school. So I am working towards that.
Gotcha.
But if that doesn't work out, I think I'll stick with econ. But hopefully it does work out.
Yeah. And then so you talked to me a little bit before this about lacrosse having a new and up and coming professional league outside of the collegiate level. Is that something you see yourself pursuing, or do you want to dive into more the economics outside of college?
It's kind of a hard question being a
Fair
freshman.
Enough, I know it's early.
I got 4 or 5 years until I probably have to make a decision on that.
So true.
So I wouldn't shoot it down if it was there.
Yeah.
I'd stay open to it. But as of like, if I'm talking right now, what I'm thinking, I think after I graduate, I'd probably just go back like into the business world and focus on that.
Yeah. So you're really good at kind of broadcasting your life on social media. If you had to make a TV show about yourself, what would it be about?
That's a good question.
Stress,
That's a really good question. Well, actually, I'm watching like a documentary TV show, The Money Game. Do you know that?
Yeah,
one?
I do know The Money Game.
Shout out Trace Young. He's kind of a bit. He probably doesn't even know who I am, but he's a huge reason of why I kind of like started doing this, because I've started watching that, and I was like, this guy, like, he plays D1 basketball at LSU, or did play D1 basketball, but he wasn't like the star player on the court, so like he wasn't getting a ton of like media access and all that, but he took advantage of this content and he blew up, and he's on a documentary on Amazon Prime. Like, who wouldn't want that? Making a ton of money. And I was like, all right, I can do that too. Yeah. Lacrosse, we're not getting a ton of media access. So like, all right, let me do something like this too. So like, I guess something along the lines of The Money Game. That would be like a TV show, documentary TV show.
Okay, a little docuseries. Yeah. I love that. What would the theme song be? This can kind of dip into like a walkout or like a warm up game song for lacrosse.
Geez, that's a really hard question. I guess that's how the documentary or TV show that goes. You kind of have to fit the realm of that. Yeah. But I'd probably go something along the lines of like house music or like rap.
I like
something
that.
like that. Get engaged a little. Yeah, get the heart bumping a little bit.
So, house music. Where are you from? Are you from West Side, East Coast? Where's the house music? Where are you from?
So I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
Specifically Wheaton, a western suburb, so not really Chicago area. I guess around there, like, rap is a big thing. Like, Chance the Rapper being from Chicago, like, he's loved. Chance the Rapper, he's loved in our area. So I definitely listened to him growing up a little bit. But the house, I think house music is just a big part of like the lacrosse community.
Okay,
like, if you listen to like a pregame warm up, there's going to be a lot of house in there.
Yeah, 100%. So you talked a little bit about, I just found this interesting, but you talked about not being a super big athlete name wise and like the best, but like you can still make your name as big as you want. And I think that's so interesting. I just wanted to also like shout out like Adrian Nunez, someone who went to Michigan, who's a basketball player here and now has making probably more money than everybody. No, I'm kidding. But like, just there is such an avenue within social media outside of the sports aspect, because now he's an artist. Now he's making music and he's hanging out with top A-list, B-list celebrities. And there is such a market there in marketing yourself aside from your sport. It doesn't matter how good you are or this, that, the other. You have Livy Dunn, who, she's still going into her 7th year, not pursuing the Olympics route or on that team, but still one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid athletes in the collegiate level. Yeah. So 100%, I completely agree with you. And the Moneyball's a really, really great show, guys. Go watch.
Yeah, go watch.
Shout out Trey Young. Yeah. We talked about earlier on the O's, the Ohios, inside the comments. It happens. Lacrosse season is underway. You've been talking about the day in my lives, but one thing that's not there yet is the actual game days, because the season has yet to start. But you told me the season starts tomorrow. What team are you going to be playing?
So tomorrow we play Mercyhurst out of Pennsylvania. It should be a home game, but here in Michigan, the weather's not too great in the winter months. So we're playing in a bubble because it's way too cold outside.
Wait, yeah, that's crazy. So does that happen a lot? Like, what if it stays cold for a while? Is that just going to be something that they keep having to work through? Yeah,
so we had a scrimmage last week at Adrian College. It's also where our game's going to be tomorrow.
Okay, sick.
They have a really nice bubble there with a full lacrosse field. Unfortunately, we do not have a bubble with a full regulation lacrosse field here. So we can't play here, so we have to drive 45 minutes to go play there. But as like, I guess it'll start warming up a little bit. It's negative degrees out here, so we obviously can't play in that cold of weather. Yeah. Someone is probably going to get seriously hurt or sick. So
absolutely. So what's it like playing in the weather conditions? Like, let's say you do have to play a little bit more of a colder game. Luckily, you're from Chicago, so you're used to the cold. But you have guys coming from Cali and other places. What's it like the switch, do you feel? Getting acclimated to the weather and everything.
Well, our first week here, we were practicing outside. It was like probably 30 degrees, which is still pretty cold. But then like these past 2 weeks, we've been practicing indoors because it's been negative, and you act like if you were to play outside, you can't catch the ball. Like you can't feel your hands.
Yeah.
So, lacrosse at this point is honestly a winter sport. Like we'll play 5 or 6 games.
It kind of is, yeah.
We'll play 5 or 6 games before March 1st, which in that case, it's still winter season.
Yeah.
So it's like, kind of have to get used to the cold.
Yeah.
But it'll start warming up pretty quickly.
Yeah. I love that. And looking forward on your schedule for the season, who are you most excited to play?
That's a good question. In the Big Ten, you always got good competition, whoever you're going to play. An exciting game is always Maryland, which we play here at home, which would be a great game. It would be a good game. I'd also say we play Army.
Okay.
We play Army in Atlanta. We play Army in Atlanta at Georgia Tech. So it's a neutral site game. The weather should be nice, so that should be really exciting. As well as we play Denver in Denver. Who wouldn't want to go to Denver? It's a pretty cool place. So I'm excited for that game.
And then with the athletics, how is it managing lacrosse and school as well? Big econ major over here.
Yeah. It was a bit of adjustment at first. So I went to boarding school. So I've kind of been used to being away from home and creating my own schedule and kind of doing most things on my own.
Yeah.
But it's a little adjustment coming here because the practices, like, they're a little bit heavier and a little bit longer. So it's like you're gassed and you're not getting back to your room till like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Because even after practice, you got to do a bunch of stuff to keep your body right, like recovery. So it's like another hour and a half on top of that. So like you get back and then you have to do schoolwork and it's like it's the last thing you want to do. Yeah. But you just got to push through it. So it was a bit of adjustment at first. Just I've always had a good sense of time management, but I really had to up it here. Yeah. So especially with the school load here at Michigan, it's a bit heavier.
Yeah, so. Work hard, play hard here.
Exactly. Yeah. It is very much so.
Yeah. And then finally, Tay, any advice you'd like to give to viewers or other athletes who watch and consume this content about just pursuing the content a little bit more? Do the day in the lives, like just go for it full fledged. Like, what advice do you have to give?
If I were to give advice to someone that was kind of do what I've been doing, it's like, if you're going to do it, like, do it. Like, you got to kind of have to go full force. Because if you go like post like one video a week or every other week, you're not going to blow up. It's not going to work. You kind of have to like go out there and market yourself and create videos. I'd like just do it. Like the first couple weeks, it's going to be, you're going to be really hesitant. You're going to be thinking like, oh, like what are people thinking of me? It's kind of hurts your ego a little bit. But once you get over that hump, like it just is like, I realize I'm just marketing myself. Like I'm making money doing this. Like, why not just keep doing it? Like, just go for it.
I love it. Actually, one more question then, because I think there's a little bit of a culture around different sports and social media as well. What's your experience been with your other teammates seeing your content? Is there a little bit of like they're messing with you a little bit because of it? Because that truly is such a thing. Like a lot of people are scared to post because they feel like maybe they're going to get made fun of. Maybe people are going to make fun of the content they're making, or what's your experience been so far?
I mean, obviously they'll mess with me a little bit. But it's all out of love. They're my teammates, so like it's just jokes. But they all support me like a lot. Like they understand what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm taking advantage of what I got here with the NIL in college, and I'm just trying to market myself, and they all support me. Which shout out to all my teammates. Love you boys. Yeah, go Michigan lacrosse. I absolutely love that. Well, Tay, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, and thank you guys for watching. If you want to follow along more on the day in the lives of Tay, make sure you follow him. We'll put his what's it called? Put your handle in the caption. There you go. And you guys can go give him a follow, and you can even see maybe this day in the life today because he is recording. All right, Tay, thank you for joining me. Thank you for having me. You've been watching A2 on Champ Media.